risks. As tensions continue to simmer in the South China Sea, the question on everybody's mind is, what can be done to prevent a crisis from spiraling out of control? The answer, of course, is not simple, but there are steps that both the US and China can take to manage tensions, build trust, and reduce the risk of conflict. One key priority is enhancing communications and crisis management mechanisms between the two militaries. Establishing hotlines, codes of conduct, and regular dialogues can help to prevent misunderstandings and miscalculations and provide channels for de-escalation in the event of a crisis. The US and China have made some progress in this area, but more needs to be done to institutionalize and operationalize these mechanisms. Another important step is to work towards a common understanding of the rules and norms governing behavior in the South China Sea. While the US and China may have fundamentally different views on the issues of sovereignty and territorial rights, they can still find common ground on principles such as freedom of navigation, respect for international law, and the peaceful resolution of disputes. Building a shared framework for managing competing claims and activities in the region can help to reduce the risk of conflict and provide a basis for cooperation on issues of mutual concern, such as environmental protection, scientific research, and maritime safety. At the same time, the US and China must also address the deeper sources of tension in their relationship, including trade disputes, technological competition, and ideological differences. Finding ways to manage these broader challenges will be critical to creating a more stable and predictable environment in which to address specific issues like the South China Sea. As we've seen, the recent confrontation between the US Navy and Chinese military in the South China Sea is just the latest chapter in a long and complex story of territorial disputes, strategic competition, and great power rivalry. The stakes couldn't be higher, not just for the countries directly involved, but for the entire world. If tensions continue to escalate, the risk of a crisis spinning out of control and leading to open conflict will only grow. A war in the South China Sea would be catastrophic, not only in terms of the human and economic costs, but also in terms of the damage it would do to the global order and the prospects for peace and prosperity in the 21st century. But there still is a reason for hope. By working together to manage tensions, build trust, and establish common rules and norms, the US, China, and other regional actors can find a way to coexist and even cooperate in the South China Sea. It won't be easy, and it'll require compromises and concessions from all sides. But the alternative, a dangerous and destabilizing cycle of escalation and confrontation, is simply too costly to contemplate. As the world watches the events unfolding in the South China Sea, it's up to the leaders in Washington, Beijing, and other capitals to rise to the challenge and find a peaceful way forward. The future of the region, and perhaps the world, hangs in the balance. By working together to build understanding, establish common ground, and create mechanisms for peacefully resolving disputes, we can help to ensure a more stable and prosperous